No mai haere mai. Welcome to 3 News. Westpac has become the first major bank to increase some of its mortgage lending rates following months of interest rate cuts. It comes after the Reserve Bank gave the impression last month it was closing the door on further cuts to the official cash rate, which appears to have pushed Westpac to hike its longer-term mortgage rates. As political correspondent Zane Small reports, it's bad timing for the government, with a new poll showing cost of living concerns have soared ahead of Christmas.
The new governor of the Reserve Bank meeting the media. Journalists were invited to get to know Anna Bremen at a breakfast hosted at the Reserve Bank this morning.
I am very honoured to be the new Reserve Bank governor.
The Swedish economist takes the helm after a series of cuts to the official cash rate to help boost the economy. But Westpac has now become the first major bank to increase some of its mortgage lending rates after the Reserve Bank gave the impression last month it was closing the door on further cuts. And that seems to have pushed Westpac to hike its longer-term mortgage rates of 2 to 5 year fixed terms by 30 basis points.
You know, Westpac has dropped its short-term rate, it's held its sort of medium-term rates, and it's lifted its longer-term rates. So there is a bit more variety coming through, which I think is indicative of the fact that we're probably near a turning point.
Our focus will be to see how this affects households and firms and businesses.
The timing could be problematic for the government if homeowners get spooked by the idea of rate hikes rather than cuts ahead of the festive season.
There's a potential that there is a little bit of a confidence knock from starting to see, a change of tune on interest rates.
My message to New Zealanders is shop around. Westpac have made that choice, other banks have not.
I think this highlights the problem with the government's overall economic strategy here. They're waiting for the Reserve Bank to save them because they haven't got a plan to tackle the cost of living.
A new Taxpayers Union Courier poll shows cost of living concern has soared ahead of Christmas. It remains the most important issue, jumping 4.1 points to 32.6%, followed by the economy on 14.8% and health on 9.4%. Meanwhile, Labour remains the most popular political party on 31.6% compared to National on 30%. Among the supporting parties, the Greens saw the biggest jump to 10.8%.
Does that give you a sense that perhaps your government hasn't gone far enough in fixing the cost of living crisis?
Well, the way that we fix it is we actually get on top of spending, we get on top of inflation and interest rates as we've been doing. But I think most Kiwis that I talk to, are saying that they sense that the economy is changing, it's strengthening.
The Taxpayers Union doesn't see it that way, with the government spending more than it's making and net debt now sitting at $186.5 billion.
The government were elected on the basis to tackle Labor's 33% increase in the core public service. They've reduced it by less than 1%.
The Taxpayers Union is chaired by former Finance Minister Ruth Richardson, and so Nicola Willis has challenged her to a debate to set the record straight.
I really want the chance to defend our government.
But getting the books in order could be a bit more challenging for the Finance Minister if the Reserve Bank is indeed done with cash rate cuts and Kiwis respond by being careful with their spending.
Kia ora, Zane. So we won't hear from the Reserve Bank again until February.
Yeah, that's right. It's not until February the 18th when the Reserve Bank will give another update on the official cash rate. And while it has signalled no further cuts, the Governor did point out today that that is just an outlook and that things could change because there are a lot of data sets over the summer the Reserve Bank will need to look at, including next week's GDP update. Next week we'll also get a look at the government's books and an inflation update in January. And also employment is important to the Reserve Bank, and we've got some fresh data out today from Stats NZ that shows Kiwis continue to move overseas in large numbers. However, it seems to have slowed down a bit. So the data shows that in the year to September, 72,700 New Zealanders moved overseas, but that has now come down to 71,400 in the year to October. So a slight improvement there.
Okay, Zane, thanks so much.